Ever pondered on how to configure your GitHub account with Visual Studio Code? This guide will help you navigate through the process with ease. First off, ensure Visual Studio Code is installed. If not, head on over to the official website to download and install it. Next, you need Git. This is a crucial tool for working with GitHub repositories. Again, if it's not on your system, download and install it from the official Git website. Once you have both, it's time to sign up or log into GitHub. If you're new to GitHub, create an account. If you're a returning user, simply log in. The fourth step involves authenticating Git with GitHub. This is done through your browser using your GitHub credentials. With that done, it's time to authenticate your GitHub account with Visual Studio Code. This is similar to the previous step, but this time within Visual Studio Code. The sixth step involves installing the GitHub Visual Studio Code extension. This is done within Visual Studio Code. Simply click on the square icon on the sidebar or press the requisite keys to access the extension's view. Search for GitHub, install the extension, and you're good to go. Now that we have everything set up, it's time to publish a repository to GitHub. Create a new source code folder and publish it to GitHub directly from Visual Studio Code. Remember to select whether you want your repository to be public or private. The eighth step is to clone a GitHub repository. This is done directly from Visual Studio Code. Open the command palette, type GitHub, clone repository, and press enter. Insert the URL of the GitHub repository you want to clone, and select a folder on your local machine for the repository. The ninth step is optional, but recommended. If you haven't already, configure your Git identity. This can be done using the terminal within Visual Studio Code. Finally, start working with your repository. Once you've cloned a repository or initialized a new one, you can begin your projects within Visual Studio Code. Make changes to your files, stage them, commit them, and push them to your GitHub repository. And there you have it. Your GitHub account is now configured with Visual Studio Code. You're ready to collaborate on projects and manage your repositories directly from the editor. Until next time, happy coding.